Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcast Room 303. I'm your host, Jermaine Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us EPE. On today's episode 147, we've got a lot of NFL news to get into. The midpoint review is upon us. The NFL trade deadline is upon us. And boy, was it an absolute banger of one. We'll get into a World Series update. Much like our World Series update will be kind of rained out. And we'll get into pop culture pick'em. Today's topic, top 5 movie lines. Maybe not of all time, but your top 5 movie lines. With that being said, how are you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm doing good. The mustache is coming into bloom. Right for Movember. I want to hear your boys' Halloween costumes. Jermaine, I saw yours. Did you manage to get Eric out of the house for Halloween?
I tried.
All right, so Eric was a homebody for Halloween. Tell the people at home.
Different than the other 365 days of the year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe, probably not. Jermaine, tell the people at home what your Halloween outfit was.
So, if you know me, you know I don't really care for Christmas. So I naturally decided to dress up as the Grinch.
I was about to be like, the fuck does that have to do with Halloween, dog?
For Halloween, bro. The Grinch does not like Christmas, bro.
Yeah, it was good.
That's because people are not inclusive and they fucking let this green dude with a heart problem fucking live in a mountain by himself for ages.
All because he doesn't look like them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was an absolute great time. The Grinch costume was a hit, and boy, everyone was fascinated with me and what I was doing. So naturally, I had to teach the crowd how to Dougie as the Grinch.
So you went out as the Grinch. I went out as two things. I went to a disco party first. So I guess you can't really call that dressing up for Halloween. Then I went to a club that was advertised as a Halloween party, and it said it was a mask party, but it said costumes welcome. So I threw on a gray suit jacket, I threw on gray suit pants, I threw on a nice white shirt. I went and the mustache and the long hair. I went as Don Johnson from Miami Vice. I walk in this light gray suit jacket, these light gray pants, this white shirt, into a club of literally all black. Everybody is in black. The people that show up after me, all black. I left that party pretty instantly.
That's a disco party?
No, that was the all black / costumes are welcome party.
DC is not fun. Nobody wore a costume, huh?
Nobody. Well, not to this party. I realized that the same company put on 2 parties and we went to the wrong one.
Well, that'll do it to you, kids.
I will do it to you.
How you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good. Another week, another Eagles win. And honestly, I've never dressed up for Halloween. I know you guys been talking about your costumes, but I've only dressed up one time in my life. And that was because you and the boys peer pressured me in high school. So I just sagged my pants, went to the theater room, got some fake braids or dreads, wrote all over my body an ink pen, and I was Lil Wayne for Halloween. And then I get home, and my dad is like, "What the fuck is on your skin?" I was like, "Oh, I was a Lil Wayne for Halloween." He's like, "Just because you got a black daddy don't mean you black, Eric. Stop doing that shit." Sent me to my room. I was like, "All right." Well, I guess that ends all the Halloween fun for me for the rest of my life.
Eric, as he is today, as he was as a child, was no fun. Is no fun. Will be no fun. He's the unfunnest to ever do it.
Why did you not go out for Halloween, Eric?
I don't like Halloween, man. And I also I'm just at that age where I don't like being out around all these people. Like, clubs are too packed. Too many people. Like, if I can't do this, if I can't stretch my bows out, puff my chest out without bumping somebody, I'm not comfortable.
This is the same. says he hates shots, comes to Raleigh, and literally my friends are pissing him because he orders them shots for every single drink. How many shots did you order in Raleigh, Eric?
So I don't know the amount of liquor, but
8 rounds of shots.
I know the amount that I spent.
You killed Rory Burke.
What's up?
You damn near killed Rory Burke.
Did I?
Yeah, yes, dude.
Well, he kept telling me he was an EOD dude. I was like, all right, well, this guy's, he's got a high tolerance. He's got a,
No,
high...
he doesn't.
How
he
does
doesn't.
that correspond?
No,
That's a
he
bad
doesn't,
motherfucker.
Eric.
That's a bad motherfucker. That's how that corresponds.
Yes, I agree with you. He's a bad motherfucker, but that doesn't mean the motherfucker can drink.
Most of the bad motherfuckers cannot drink like that because they do not drink.
Because they're doing bad motherfucker shit.
That's
They're
true.
training and working out and shooting guns and doing all that stuff.
In case you haven't noticed, with Eric, who doesn't like drinking and doesn't like going out to fun places, we have a saying around here where we refer to him as FOS. Full of shit, bro.
Full of shit,
All you
100%.
do is talk this way,
100%.
and then when we go out, do the complete opposite, bro. Like, you're so full of shit, it's ridiculous,
It's
bro.
just it is truly ridiculous. It truly is. For you to be like, I hate going out. I hate going to these places where I can't move my elbows.
And then he's the one bumping into everyone when he goes to those places. He's the one fucking throwing shoulders. He's just like, that motherfucker looked at me crazy. I was
That's
like,
not true.
later, though.
it's because you fucking hit him with your shoulder. That's why he looked at you crazy.
I'm a big dude, man. Let me through. Move or I'm gonna move you is what I'm saying.
Oh my god, dude. It's lucky that you hang out. It's lucky that you hang out with big people, Eric.
Hey man, surround yourself with who you want to be like, bro.
Jermaine, we were strategically chosen as friends. Now, yours was more of a potential thing. He hoped you would grow up to something big. But me, he saw me and was like, oh yeah, I'm going out with you.
Bro, my guy is so full of shit, as always. With that being said, we've now done a fantastic little 8-minute intro. Let's go ahead and get into this pop culture pick'em. In case you were not listening at the beginning of this podcast, the topic is top 5 movie lines. Today's order will be Nick, Eric, myself. Now I will toss it to you, Nick.
Oh, man, dude. I could complete this list of just Arnold Schwarzenegger lines.
I would love to see you do it.
Okay, I'm going to try to do it. So I'll start with the movie Commando. Okay? There's a scene in Commando where early in the movie he tells a character, Sully, that he's going to kill him last. There's one point where he's at the top of a building, and Arnold Schwarzenegger character is holding this character, Sully, over the building, and he says the following line. Hey, Sully, remember when I said I'd kill you last? And the guy goes, yeah, man, yeah, you said that. He goes, I lied. And he drops him off the building. And that's my first pick. You can just type Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando, Eric.
I'm not gonna spell Schwarzenegger, so I'm just gonna put Arnold Commando.
Eric. Voz Nega.
We're gonna keep it push.
Whoa, let's not sound it out next time.
Nega.
Oh my God, chill.
It's German.
Time out.
It's German.
Yeah.
When have the Germans done anything bad?
Chill with this sounding it out, bro.
Remember from The Simpsons with Sideshow Bob, and he has the tattoo on his chest, Die Bart Die. And he says, no, it's German for the Bart the. And the parole board goes, oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry.
That's funny, dude.
Keep going, because that's gonna be my second line probably.
All right. With my first pick, it's probably man, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with English, motherfucker. Do You Speak It by Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
Do television shows count, or we're only doing movies, right?
Yeah. What's the ruling, Eric?
Let's keep it to movies because it's just easier. Yeah.
So pro wrestling's out as well, right?
Yeah.
No,
definitely.
To be the man. Woo! You gotta beat the man.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. That's another great line from that, Eric.
When the thousands and thousands of Hulkamaniacs run wild on you, brother, What you gonna do? All right, I'm done.
Those are great lines, though.
Oh, dude, I could make this lit. I could do all 15 with Ric Flair quotes, bro. All right, so both good picks from you. I'm gonna go with one of my all-time favorite movies, Wedding Crashers. Quote this all the time. If you are my friends, then you know I've said this. Rule number 76: no excuses. Play like a champion.
It's a good one.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
That's a good one. Also, one taking over TikTok. You've left me in the rice paddies taking grenades, John.
Oh, yeah.
Face down in the rice paddies taking grenades, John.
All right. And then another one of my all-time favorite movies in We Were Soldiers, which arguably has the most amount of one-liners in cinema history. Obviously, that's hyperbole. I'm probably wildly wrong on that one. And I'm not even going to go for the comedic ones. The comedic ones is all about the timing, the place, the delivery. It's fucking outstanding. But I'm going to go with this one. I can't promise you that I will bring you all home alive. But this I swear, before you and before Almighty God, that when we go into battle, I will be the first to set foot on that field, and I will be the last to step off, and I will leave no one behind.
And what great cinematography in the movie, too, to show him early in the movie stepping on the battlefield. And then like 2 hours later, show him stepping off.
Can you give me the movie for that one? I'm drawing a blank. We were soldiers, right? Okay, yeah, just making sure.
Dude, Hal Moore is certified.
Hal Moore is a BDPL if I've ever seen one.
The sergeant major, though, and that has two fantastic lines. When the young lieutenant is trying to pass him and he goes, "Beautiful day we're having, eh, Sergeant Major?" And he goes, "How the hell do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?" And then later he tries to pass him again and he says, something
about the weather, right? What are you, the goddamn weatherman?
Oh yeah, no, he says, "Good morning, Sergeant Major." And he says, "How the hell do you know what kind of goddamn morning it is?" And then he goes, and then the next thing he does, oh my God, Kyle Schwarber just annihilated a ball about 425 to center. Holy cow. If you took Kyle Schwarber for MVP, I hope you're happy.
He even drew a walk in the first inning.
Yep. So, and then there's a second quote where the young enterprising lieutenant comes up to the sergeant major and says, "Beautiful weather we're having today." "Yeah, Sergeant Major?" And he goes, "What are you, a goddamn weatherman?"
First of all, that movie is worth the price of admission just for the lines. But then it's shot great. Mel Gibson is a big dick pipe player in that. Lieutenant Hal Moore, also big dick pipe player. It's Sam Elliott, right?
It is Sam Elliott, as
okay.
the Sergeant Major.
So Sam Elliott plays the crusty old Sergeant Major who's got one of the best mustaches in cinema.
I don't remember what his name is, but he has the feat of being the only person to ever jump into the only person to ever do a jump in World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam. Like a parachute jump.
You're talking about who Sam Elliott played, right?
Yeah, the Sergeant Major.
Hal Moore.
Was it Hal Moore?
Oh, sorry. No, that's Mel Gibson's line. I'm sorry, Hal Moore is Mel Gibson.
Right.
That line I said was from Mel Gibson. That's why I was getting confused. All right, on to you, Eric. Right? Well, hold on. What
Yeah, on to me. So wait, no.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, because we got the Rule 76, and then we got your "We Were Soldiers" quote.
Yes, and now it's all right. Bet.
So the quote itself leads to a monologue by Brad Pitt, and it's probably one of my favorite monologues.
Yes,
but it's the "Nazi ain't got no humanity," and then that whole monologue after is just gold. So I'm gonna go with the "Nazi ain't got no humanity."
There's also from that movie. I feel like I can just quote, be like, "Yeah, that was a great one," but here's another one, right? Where he's got the German guy down on his knees, and he goes, "Donnie, we got a Nazi out here who wants to die for his country. Oblige him."
Yeah.
Or what I think is the best line from that movie, which is, So I'll go in. I speak the most Italian. Donnie, you speak the second. Brent, you speak the third. But boss, I don't speak any Italian. Like I said, third most.
Dude, it's funny how it's such serious dialogue, but Quentin can write such funny shit into it.
It's so great, dude. Especially and like that movie makes you like Christoph Waltz is the best villain in that movie. He makes you cringe. Oh my Jesus, Philly just hit another one. Reese Hoskins.
How many
Floodgates
is that?
are open.
That's
6
5.
home run?
That's
5?
5. Yeah.
7-0.
Holy cow. Don't pitch to this man. No, just walk the rest of them. Don't pitch to him.
Although if they walk, they'll never finish.
Why is McCulver still in this game? He's given up 6 home runs or 5 home runs, excuse me. All right, my turn. All right, I said I'd go full Arnold quotes. So there's a quote from Terminator 2 when Arnold comes back. There's great quotes in Terminator 2, but I'm going to use the one, the iconic one where he says, "Hasta la vista, baby." My third one. All right, we're going to go Jingle All the Way, where he is trying to go get a toy, and one of his friends has a cookie. And Arnold Schwarzenegger uses the line, "Put that cookie down now!" And Eric, over to you.
What movie was that? Jingle All the Way?
That was Jingle All the Way, yeah. I'm doing this all in Arnold quotes, dude.
Get down. They're after the taco. Arnold Schwarzenegger in.
Yeah.
Do, do, do. Little tortilla boy.
That's such a great stand-up.
Weibo splash for men who shave their balls.
That's so great.
Oh my god! All right, with my next pick, I'm gonna keep it going with the Tarantino theme. I'm gonna go with the quote from Jackie Brown. Ordell goes, "AK-47, the very best there is. When you absolutely positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes."
That's a good one. Also, another great line from that movie is when they're rolling in the car. He goes, "You know what I like about a European hamburgers? You know what they call a quarter pounder in France? A Royale with cheese."
That's Pulp Fiction, right?
Oh, is that Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, that's Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Travolta delivers that.
Yeah.
What was yours, Eric?
Jackie Brown. One of the least watched movies by Quentin.
Quentin Tarantino made a Jackie Brown movie?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. With Pam Grier and Sam and Robert De Niro. And
Yeah. All right. That's the one movie I can't quote here. Jermaine, over to you.
It's my pick already?
It is.
Oh, all right. Okay, so we're going to go to Django Unchained here. And it's one of the hardest lines in cinema history. "I like the way you die, boy."
That's good. There's also a quote from Samuel Jackson that I cannot say. So I'm going to bleep the parts of the line that I cannot say. And it's when Django being played by Jamie Foxx first comes up to the house, the Candy Mansion, right? And Leonardo DiCaprio, who's playing Monsieur Candy, comes up and he welcomes both Christopher Waltz and Django into his house. And Samuel Jackson comes out and they say that they want to put Django in the big house. And he goes, "That N-word up on the nag? You want me to put him in the big house?" And whole exchange between the old black butler that is Samuel Jackson and Leo DiCaprio is amazing in that movie. Did you see how I stepped over all those landmines so expertly?
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't just sound out Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of that.
That would be inappropriate. All right, Jermaine, your fourth pick.
Man, my fourth pick, huh? This is a lot. Like, what's so funny is you quote movie lines all the time, and then when it comes down to put up or shut up time, you struggle with it. I'm gonna go with the line from Emperor's New Groove. And there's this old man with a hunched over back and a cane. And just this ridiculously long hat coming off of him. And old buddy played by what's his name, John Goodman. I forget his name, but he's walking up and he's just like, "Don't go in there." And he's like explaining what happened, and he does this weird little hand gesture. And he says, "And he threw me out the window." And it just, my brothers and my dad would die laughing every time this line was delivered. No hesitation, no reason. It was just a truly hysterical fucking line to me.
That's a great one. The villain also in that one has a line where she goes, "Pull the lever, crunk," and he pulls it. And as she's falling down the tunnel, she goes, "Wrong lever."
That's one of my all-time favorite movies, dude. I love that movie too, dude.
That's a great movie
that's
for sure.
That's it for me. It's right. It's back to you, Eric, or do I have
Back to
another?
Eric.
All right.
Shit, I missed the one you said, but I'll go back and get it here in a sec. Man, this is tough. Probably just because of the scene itself, but when Marcellus says, "I'm gonna get medieval on your ass," is that how you'd pronounce that?
I don't
For
know.
what?
This is your quote.
Yeah,
Marcellus, Marcellus, and
Oh,
he's like, "I'm gonna get medieval on your ass."
are you talking about from Gladiator?
No, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
When he's
Fiction?
got the ball bag and
That
he closes
movie's
the door.
overrated.
Oh wow.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what the line was.
I'm not even sure what the line is either.
It's fucking
It's
pot
Eric. Eric, I don't know why you're asking us. It's your line. You get to
No,
pick any line in movie.
I
history.
know it's Ving Rhames' character, the guy that ball gags him and all that shit.
Right.
And then when he finally gets free, he closes the door. He's like, "I'm gonna get medieval on your ass," and the scene cuts.
Yeah.
No? All right.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
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 I mean, we know.
Hey, you guys.
We know the scene you're talking about, but you were asking us about the line. And I was just like, I don't know. Hey,
All right. So there's this scene in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis, where Arnold is a spy, and Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't know, but she gets wrapped up in it inevitably. Bryce Harper just missed a letter high fastball that he would have annihilated. She finds out that he's a spy, and he comes to rescue her in this hangar full of guys, and he comes in and he shoots two of them guarding her. And as he's getting her out to the plane, she sees all these dead bad guys around her, and she goes, "Oh my God, did you kill all these people?" And Arnold Schwarzenegger responds with, "Yeah, but they were all bad."
Oh man, dude.
Boy, that's like my favorite Arnold movie.
True Lies is a great movie.
It's like my favorite Arnold
Because
movie. Hands down.
it is Arnold making fun of Arnold movies.
It's still Twins for me.
Twins is good too.
Him
You and I, we're brothers.
Him and Danny DeVito, it just makes no sense, dude. Is that your last pick, Nick?
Oh no, I do have a
One
last
more.
pick. I'm sorry. So there is. Oh my God. What is the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger? Total Recall. There's a movie in Total Recall where Arnold Schwarzenegger is also a spy. Are you seeing a theme here? But he has his brain messed with, so he thinks he's just a normal construction worker on Mars. He finally figures it out, and he's been married to this woman, a very gorgeous blonde chick, big tits. And he comes back to the house, and she thinks he doesn't know, but the order has gone out to burn him. They have to kill him. And he comes into the house, and he turns around to do, or he's like turning around to do something. He turns back around, and she has a gun in his face, or he has a gun in her face. And she realizes that he's got him. And she goes, "But darling, we're married." And Arnold shoots her through the head and goes, "Consider that a divorce."
Yo, that's legitimately a hard ass line, bro.
I even have some like I even have some honorable mention Arnold lines when we get done with it.
I wish I remembered what some of the lines were, but if you've ever seen the second movie in the Olympus Has Fallen franchise, the one that
London Has Fallen,
the London Has Fallen one. Yo,
there's some
Gerard
great
Butler gets you rock hard in that movie, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just like, he's a bad man. I'm like, I actually like both those movies, though.
They're good movies, yeah. All right, Eric, I think it's back to you.
Yeah. All right. So
Eric's like, remember that one scene in that one movie where that one guy said that one thing? That's my next pick.
Yeah, how do you say it?
That's my next pick. You got it right, Nick. Right on the head. All right. So I was gonna do all Tarantino movies, but I can't leave out my favorite movie of all time. Watch this movie like 2 or 3 times a year. I honestly think it's the best movie ever made.
Beetlejuice?
No. But
Polar
so
Express.
the obvious quote when I say the movie, everybody's gonna think my favorite quote is the obvious quote. It's not. But my favorite movie of all time is Fight Club. I know you guys are thinking probably first rule of Fight Club and talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club, do not talk about Fight Club. That's not it.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's a good line, but it's
my favorite line from that movie is I wanted to destroy everything beautiful I'd never have. I don't know why that shit stuck with me when I was a kid, but that's like my all-time favorite movie line.
That's why he hates Halloween.
That's what it is, yeah.
I fucking hate you guys.
He really does. He does hate me, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me see. Let me see if you guys can guess this movie, and I'm gonna try to bust off my retired acting chops. Well retired, but let's give it a shot here.
Hey, you're a stage actor.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life.
That's Rocky 3.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
What's that? Is that Rocky 5 with Tommy Gun?
It's Creed. When he's talking to his boy, isn't it?
No, it's not.
This is Rocky Balboa when he's talking to his son.
When he's talking to Tommy Gun, right?
Was that the name of his son?
I thought so.
I don't know the name of his son.
Never any way life's gonna hit you. You gotta keep going.
That monologue is fucking fire.
It's good.
Bro.
It is good.
It's like, and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying, you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or nobody. Cowards do that. And that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son and you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't going to have a life.
Was this best? All right, we got to throw Eric on there later. We got to throw best speeches in movie history.
Oh, dude, the best speech in
say it
cinema history. I don't think it's film. I think it's on television. It's when have you ever seen The Newsroom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where he says America's not as great as people say it is. Yeah.
Oh my God. That speech will light a fucking fire under your ass. So you tell me, where is America great? That's the greatest thing I ever heard because America is fantastic, but it's got flaws.
Right.
Hey, and here's the thing. Everyone here hates it now because they've been brainwashed by colleges and school. It's actually pretty amazing to see how well a job they've done. But never forget that everyone still risks life and limb to make it to this country. Everyone in this country likes to talk about white privilege, but the privilege you have just being born here is staggering.
Fire! Why do you think so many people want to come here? Anyway, here's a great line I thought that nobody said. Man, I can't remember exactly what it's from. But
Eric, I did all Arnold lines.
He Any man who dies with a clean sword, I'll rape his fucking corpse. You guys remember that?
No.
Epic line.
There's a line in Gladiator at the beginning of it when they're going to the battle in Germania.
Eric thinks that movie sucks, by the way.
When he's talking to his cavalry. And if he says, "Ride with me," and if you find yourself riding with a warm sun on your face, riding through your fields, for you are in Elysium, and you are already dead.
I fucking love that movie, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's Gladiator, so you can go with, "Are you not entertained? Is this not why you were here?"
Speaking of movie speeches.
Right. Yeah.
My name. Oh, bro. When he
Well, are we
fucking
doing-
says his name, bro.
Well,
You
no,
guys wanna
we need to do movie speeches. There.
Movie
We need
speeches.
to do movie speeches as another category.
Since we couldn't do movies, since we couldn't do television, I guess we got to do a pop culture pick'em for television.
Do you guys? So, just for clarification, a speech / monologue, or it has to be like a scene where they're delivering a speech, like.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
What?
no,
You just said the
no,
same thing.
No.
He was talking about actually delivering a speech. In a
No,
movie.
like the Joker's like the Joker when he comes into the ballroom and he's like, "You know, see how I got these scars?" Like that's a great movie speech.
Okay,
He goes on his like spiel and then
Right.
something happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. Not
Okay,
like,
so
not like fucking
monologues will
Selma, not like Selma and Martin Luther King's actually up there giving a
Right.
speech, bro.
Right. Although I will take Independence Day as both.
Yeah. That one passes. So here's
Yeah.
the thing: it can be a speech.
It can be both.
It can be.
Porque no los dos.
It does not
All
have
right.
to be.
All right.
So
Ooh,
that
another
puts
great
an
movie
end
quote.
to our pop culture pick'em. My honorable mention is Bond, James Bond. Eric, go ahead and read our list back, please.
Can I get your fourth pick? For some reason, it deleted it, and I can't put it back in.
It's and he threw me out the window in Emperor's New Groove.
And he does the little.
It's fucking hysterical, bro.
Any honorable mentions? You, Nick?
I mean, more than I want to mention. I'll go back to Commando for just one of them. There's a main bad guy, and he's fighting him, and he kicks him back and then throws a steel pipe through him, and it hits an air duct, and steam starts releasing out of it, and Arnold Schwarzenegger hits him with, "Sully, you're too stressed. You need to let off some steam."
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the king of the one-liners, bro. It's so funny, man.
That's
I'll
awesome.
hit another one. Batman and Robin. He plays Mr. Freeze.
I know.
He comes in to steal a diamond. He hits all the cops. Well, first of all, he has two great lines. He hits all these cops right before he activates his freeze ray. He goes, "Now freeze!" And he hits everybody. And then he goes, and before he's about to try to hit Batman with it, he hits a line. He goes, "You know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age."
First of all, Batman and Robin was such a dope movie as a kid.
I love that movie, dude.
Oh,
I had all
dude.
the big
Nipple
actors.
Batman, bro. Nipple Batman. Let's
Bro, we
go,
should
bro.
just do one-liners and do nothing but Arnold and The Rock movies. See how many we can come
I
up
don't
with.
think The Rock has that good of one-liners.
I
though.
don't think so. Good
Yeah,
job.
they're not
Arnold
Arnold
has an
classic.
incredible-
They're not
No,
Arnold
they're
level.
not.
I have an honorable mention. It comes from our boy from Texas, Matthew McConaughey, in the movie Dazed and Confused.
All right.
No, the other one.
No, stop it.
Eric. No. For those of you who know, you know. No, Eric, bad.
If you know, you know. Anyway, so the list is
Let me grab my spray bottle.
Right.
Arnold's. Nick went pretty much Arnold theme, or did go Arnold theme. He had an Arnold line from Commando where he lied about killing him last. Hasta La Vista Baby from T2. Put that cookie down now, Jingle All the Way. Yeah, but they were all bad, True Lies, and consider that a divorce. Total Recall. All great one-liners. Jermaine had, I had English Motherfucker Do You Speak It for Samuel L. Jackson. Nazis Ain't Got No Humanity in Inglourious Bastards. AK-47, The Very Best There Is, and Jackie Brown. I'm gonna get medieval on your ass, Pulp Fiction, and I Want to Destroy Everything Beautiful I Never Had, Fight Club. Jermaine had Rule Number 76. Wedding Crashers, We Were Soldiers, quote, I Like the Way You Died, Boy, Django Unchained. and he threw me out the window. Emperor's New Groove.
Hold
and
on,
lastly,
I want you to read this one as you typed it, though.
Which one?
The very last one. Read that one letter for letter.
Rocky Balboa, Rocky socking to Hus son.
Hey man, sometimes when those fingies get golden, you
Yo,
can't
my
stop.
guy
You know what I'm
was
saying?
speed typing, bro.
Hey man, the brain is a wonderful thing, and it can still read that properly.
That's so wild. All right, so that wraps up our pop culture pick'em top 5 movie lines of all time. Let's go ahead and get into our World Series update. I'm going to toss it to Nick. He has a little topic he'd like to discuss.
Yeah, we really got to talk about this. All right, so Game 2 of the World Series was in Houston. All right. The home plate umpire was a guy named Pat Hoberg. Pat Hoberg called a perfect game behind the plate. His first time umpiring a World Series game, he called a perfect game. What that means is that he called all pitches correctly, balls or strikes, all 129 pitches in the game, he called correctly. That seems low. That seems really low, actually.
What was that?
129 pitches?
No, I think it was 129 strikes and then 100 and something balls.
Yeah, because both teams threw. Yeah. Okay, so he called probably close to 300 pitches correct.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't the first time that Mr. Hoberg has done this. Early this year, he was one missed call away from calling 122 of 123 strikes correct in a Phillies-Rockies game. The only blemish was a strike that he called a ball. So now we like to ask, we like to crap on umpires, right? Because if you really take events in a baseball game, there's probably, at least as a home plate umpire, there's at least let's just say 250 events in a baseball game. The average of umpires in the MLB, can you guys guess what it is?
I actually know it, so I'm going to default
Eric.
to Eric here.
We talked at pre-show. I know it. I can't.
Oh, well, Eric, you're not very good for the magic of live TV, are you? All right, so umpires get it correct 96% of the time. They get calls correct 96% of the time. That's insane to me. But still, shout out to Mr. Hoberg, a perfect first World Series game, and he calls it perfect. Shout out to you. He said, hey, robo-umps, they ain't coming in yet.
So here we go. He said called ball accuracy 100%, called strike accuracy 100%. 0 of 89 called balls were true strikes. 0 of 40 called strikes were true balls.
So I have something here for you guys, and I just want to get your opinion on it. We all watch sports. Like, I don't know, Nick. Nick, I don't know if you can agree that 92% or whatever you said is called correctly, but I'm going to give you some stats here. The NFL claims
that's wrong. All right,
the NFL claims that refs are accurate on 98.9% of calls.
No way, dude.
No,
There's holding on every play. There's zero. They should take every play, and the play that flags are called, and that's the umpire's accuracy.
And then the NBA claims 95% accuracy in their games.
I actually do believe that one, though.
I believe that one, too.
The NBA gets a lot right.
They get a lot of calls right.
It's just NBA fans are very good at being like LeBron and Tim Duncan and Brooke Lopez the other day, acting like they've never seen a correct call in the history of their lives.
That brings...
Well, also, as my father likes to say, there's never been a foul committed in NBA history.
No, Tim Duncan's never committed one.
So it makes it seem like when the player commits a foul, he's like there. So that's
this is Tim Duncan every time.
Yeah, every time. There's never been a foul committed in NBA history.
He's my favorite person to talk about when it comes to like Tim Duncan's never committed a foul. Till this day, he's never committed it.
I have a. Do you think that NBA stat though is like on player fouls? Because, bro, Jermaine, you could attest to this. How many times a game do you see travel, or do you see a double dribble?
That was part of the rule changes to make games faster. They stopped caring about carries and travels. I know you're not upset. Mr. Allen Iverson is my favorite fucking player.
Name one time he traveled and they didn't call it.
Name it. I can name all the times he carried. Every single time I watch him go.
Bro, how are you supposed to go this way and then back this way really fast without having the ball go over your head a little bit? It's a necessity.
Literally, dude, it's in the Tim Donegan documentary. It's
Captain full of shit over here, bro.
It's in the Tim Donegan documentary. They talk about Allen Iverson carried all the time, and they're going to call him in the game. They basically just said, we're going to call it, and then we're going to win bets.
That's it. That's all Tim Donaghy did, bro. And Tim Donaghy is actually a fantastic official. I remember thinking that when he was doing it. I was just like, damn, I actually never really thought he was fixing games. But that's the thing. It's a human element.
He never fixed games. He just relayed information over to a guy. And that guy took that information and made lines.
If you go look at his calls, the calls he made were accurate. Right. They were correct. The problem is the NBA never calls them. So that's the issue. Now, is the NBA directing their officials not to call carries and travels? Yes, Eric, I agree with you on that one. We bitch about it all the time, bro. The moving screen is up there as well.
Right, yeah, seriously.
But from what they're instructed to call and the calls they actually make, the NBA is around 95%.
And plus, Eric, how many baseball at bats do you see where we have been so spoiled as baseball fans in the modern generation because some intern slapped a freaking box up on a screen which doesn't reflect a true player's height, a true umpire's strike zone. It's just a box, and if the ball's not in that box, we're like, that's a ball. But like, it is truly based off of below the numbers and above the knees, right? And corner to corner on the plate. That is a strike zone.
Yeah, I actually think baseball would be like, if these guys are trained properly, it would be the easiest one because you have direct line of sight. You're right there. You're not looking at other things. That's what you're focused on.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that how you can watch an inning of baseball where a pitcher strikes out those three guys, and you can see at least one ball in there. So even if he throws 9 pitches, all for strikes, there's one on the corner that you're going to be like, I don't know.
And the only reason I brought it up is because the other day, and I'm actually going to make fun of Joel Embiid. The other day I watched this dude. You know how you defensive 3 seconds? I literally watched this man stand in the paint and stare off.
Just chilling.
Just stare off into the stands. No movement. Wasn't aware of anything going around him. The offense and the defense kept going. Joel just standing there. Clearly longer than 3 seconds, no whistle was blown. So, I mean, it's just,
But how close was the defender, though? Not at all?
Not at all.
Sorry, or, I mean, if he was the defender, how close was
like, Joel had his arm up like this and was staring into the stands, and his arm wasn't touching it. I'm assuming if you're 7 feet tall, it's at least 3 feet away, your arms. I don't know, 2.5 feet. Yeah.
It's an optical illusion.
No, yeah, I agree. Now, do we want them to call a more accurate game? I actually don't know if we do.
I do.
You know how unwatchable sports would be if they called everything correctly?
100%. There's holding on every NFL play. There is a penalty on every NFL play.
Bro, the scores would plummet back down to the 90s.
I mean, bet the under. I'd love that.
That's what was happening in the 90s. The refs were calling all kinds of shenanigans. And then the players were just beating the fuck out of each other. So, like, the refs were like, yo, you're running out of fouls. He's like, well, then call it.
The Jordan rules.
Yeah, man. I think we give refs an incredibly hard time. It's as thankless a job as police officer or teacher or, but they're up there in pressure situations, and we expect perfection as creatures that are not perfect. It's pretty sad.
Here's my thought. You know who gets absolutely no love? intramural referees. Like, they're not even getting, like, they don't have jobs as like doctors and lawyers. They're just out there for the literal love of the game. They're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get paid $20 to go have college kids yell at me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think whenever intramurals, like, they throw people out, I'm like, good. Fuck those people, bro.
100%, dude. In my younger years, I was like, fuck intramural referees. And now I'm like, if I'm like in my men's league and I start to like get grumpy at an umpire, like make a bad call, I'm like, well, I could not be playing baseball because he could have not showed up. Like,
yeah, 100%. Like, you're also not professional. There's no money on the line. There's no awards. There's no accolades. Like, you paid money to come here and swing a ball. You know what I mean? Like,
right, 100%. Yeah, I'm at a negative right now.
All right, so now that we've talked about Hoyer, right? What Hoger?
Hoberg.
Now that we talked about Hoberg and his very impressive performance in the World Series, let's get into the actual series itself. Stros Phillies tied 1-1, headed to Philadelphia. Rain delay postponed Game 3, which I thought would be hugely beneficial to the Stros bullpen and their pitching staff. So I said to the group chat, now erroneously, hammer the Stros. And it's not looking so good anymore. Can anyone tell me what the score is right now?
It's
7-0.
Yeah, 7-0 Phillies.
7-0.
Why is this dude 24 years old, but he looks like he's 55? Brandon Marsh.
Well, Beards
also
will do that to you.
The youngest player to homer for the Phillies in the World Series.
Well, Beards will do that to you, Eric.
Did he just go? Oh, no.
Yeah, so both games in Houston started out the same way, right? They started out with the Astros jumping ahead 5-0. And then the Phillies battled back with JT Realmuto. Battled back, JT Realmuto hitting a home run in the top of the 10th inning to win the game for the Phillies 6-5 in Game 1. And then the Astros won Game 2 by basically dominating and then holding it on early with their bullpen. Jermaine's absolutely right. This rain delay, I was like, that's not good. You're giving Astros pitchers another day to rest. You're giving Justin Verlander's old bones another day to sit around. And we won't see Justin Verlander until tomorrow. But man, I thought this was going to be a death toll for the Phillies. And the Phillies came out here smacking the baseball. Up 7-0 on 5 home runs.
I guess the rest benefited Philadelphia. So let's say the score holds true. Can someone give me inning and outs right now?
I believe it's top 7 right now. It just went top 7.
Okay. So let's say the score holds true and Philadelphia takes this win. How are you feeling with your Philadelphia bet?
There's 3 more games in Philly. Or there's 2 more games in Philly.
Right. So you're still comfortable with the 4-1. You don't.
100%. Yeah. If they keep hitting the baseball like this. I mean,
also,
okay. All right.
Is Game 5, by the way. So these are the matchups.
Who's
Today was McCullers versus Suarez.
Valdez is next.
Javier versus Nola is Game 4, and then Verlander versus Syndergaard is Game 5.
So here's the thing. Look, Noah Syndergaard is not what he used to be, and Justin Verlander is every bit of what he used to be. He gets better. He's like a fine wine. He gets better with age.
I thought Verlander sucked in the World Series. He just got lit up in Game 1.
Oh, yeah. By the way, this is one of the greatest stats of history, right? Madison Bumgarner can enter into the game right now. If he were pitching for the Astros, he could enter into a World Series game. He could give up 23 straight home runs and get 0 outs, and he would still have a lower ERA than Justin Verlander.
That's ridiculous, bro. 23 straight home runs is an insane number to say out loud. So, that's crazy. Honestly, I was not expecting this from the Phillies, but this Game 3 performance has reinvigorated my initial Phillies stance. I thought that rain delay was going to fuck them.
So did I.
At the very minimum, it is still a very even playing field, and that's how I'd like it. We've got 2 more games at home. Schwarber's alive, Harper's alive, and everyone else is coming up with timely hitting. I don't expect them to hit 5 home runs in a game again, but Phillies winning is looking pretty good. So that means everyone needs to start saving their money because it's about to go topsy-turvy in the United States financial markets.
When does Mattress Max stop betting the Astros?
Never.
Never, because
That man's addicted to losing money.
He's old and rich.
My question is, how much money is that man making for him to keep losing these sums of money?
He actually owns Mattress Firm as a whole. So
He's laundering money for the U.S. government.
He's actually secretly a CIA agent. And that's where all his money stems from. All right, so let's
Mattress Max net worth currently is $300 million.
Drops in a bucket, and then he just writes it off on losses. That's so funny, bro. Are the Stros, if the Stros lose this series, are they the new Dodgers?
No.
No.
There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers, didn't they lose 6 out of 7?
Yeah, the Stros only have 1 World Series, don't they?
Right, but have the Stros have only been to 3 World Series.
Oh, you're saying the Dodgers lost 6 of 7 World Series?
I thought they did, right?
I don't think so. I don't think they qualified for that.
What does Dave Roberts have? Let's see here. I mean, yeah, if their records are the same, then yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm going to stop looking up. I'm going to stop looking up
for
stats.
The World Series.
I'm going to stop looking up stats. Yes. If the Astros lose this, yes. They won 1 World Series when they had a good young team.
All right,
and now that's just like we expect them in the World Series, but they can't. Dusty Baker is not a good playoff manager.
The Dodgers are 7 out of 24 all time for the World Series. So they've won 7 out of the 24 times they've been there.
No, we're not talking about
Eric.
historical. Yeah.
We're only shitting on Dave Roberts. All right, we can go back to that.
Yeah.
I'm down to shit on Dave Roberts.
That's what we love
Eric,
to
that's
do
what
here.
we do on this podcast. We shit on Dave Roberts.
We actually have a T-shirt that says "Shit on Dave Roberts."
Yeah,
and
it's just Dave Roberts with shit on his head.
It's a toilet painted to look like Dave Roberts' mouth.
Why is Dusty Baker wearing batting gloves?
Because it's cold, bro.
What? So wear gloves, Dusty.
Well, he didn't bring gloves.
Garbage. He's a garbage personal assistant. Then
he has a garbage personal assistant.
Yeah, they should have brought him gloves.
Or he's a fucking decent human being and said, "Yeah, just give me the baseball gloves that are right there."
First of all, batting gloves don't keep you warm.
Dave Roberts is 1 out of 3
in the World Series.
And it should be 0.5 out of 3.
Yeah.
Because when you only play 60 games in baseball,
0.5 out of 2.5.
That doesn't count. That's like playing 4 weeks in the NFL and saying you're a World Series or Super Bowl
trust me, the Rockies All-Star game all agreed with me.
I don't think they did.
When I fucking bodied all the Dodgers fans, bro. Rumor has it they're still sitting there dumbfounded. All right, let's get into the NFL trade deadline. We'll do the mid-season review with the Week 8 review for the next episode. So, NFL trade deadline.
Have you guys ever seen a trade deadline more active than this?
In the NFL?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember seeing a week before the trade deadline this active.
Like, this was shocking. Robbie Anderson kicked it off. And everyone was just like, "Oh, it's Robbie Anderson, right?" And then all of a sudden, CMC got traded for a cash cow of picks.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a 2nd, 3rd, a 4th, and then what was the 6th the next year?
Yeah, 6 next year.
I mean, if you do the pick calculations, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th equals at least a 1st and a half.
Right.
For CMC, that's outstanding valuable for a veteran, oft injured. I mean, he is arguably the best running back in football still, though. So,
right.
But I thought it was very impressive what the Carolina Panthers did on that. So let's just get right in, since that's the one that kind of lit a fire under some assholes.
So we'll kick it off with CMC. So the Carolina Panthers traded running back Christian McCaffrey to the San Francisco 49ers In return, they got back a second, third, fourth round pick in 2023 and a fifth round pick in 2024. So here's the question. Here's what I'm going to do. I have the ESPN article pulled up. Jermaine, Eric, I want you to give me your grade for these major trades. Give me your grade for both teams. So the San Francisco 49ers getting Christian McCaffrey. Give me your grade for it.
McCaffrey in Kyle Shanahan's run system. If Kyle Shanahan isn't constantly investing mid-round picks in, he took Trey Sermon and he took Ty Davis Price, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not supposed to factor in all these outside mitigating factors, but I can't go higher than a B.
Okay.
For the 49ers, just based on optics and everything. They gave away a lot of picks, but to have CMC for this stretch run should bolster this offense. And I know Deebo Samuel went up to the GM and thanked him for doing this. So I know some people are very happy about this.
Okay.
My grade for CMC, and there's one thing that goes into account here. We have an oft-injured running back in a field that's notorious for tearing running backs up. I'm going to go ahead and give this a C+.
C+, okay.
Yeah.
Just because because why? Just because the field injures people?
Yeah, because that position is notorious for getting fucked up in that field. And he's already an often injured running back. I think they could have gone for O-line. I think they could have boosted the secondary. I think they gave up a lot to get him when they had Shanahan's done enough with other good running backs. Decent running backs, I should say.
The O-line in San Francisco is not bad, though.
Pretty good running backs, right? So we'll move on.
Can always be better.
I'm mentioning this because we love
with Eric's unrealistic fucking standards again.
I'm mentioning this, yeah. I'm mentioning this because we love this kid on the podcast. The Jacksonville Jaguars trade James Robinson running back to the New York Jets. The Jacksonville Jaguars get a conditional 6th-round pick, which becomes a 5th-round pick if Robinson rushes for 260 yards with the Jets this year. Give me your grades on both teams. We'll start with the Jets. Eric, we'll start with the Jets. I guess we didn't grade the Panthers. Grade the Panthers in the CMC trade, Eric.
A+. A lot of
Jermaine?
value for a dude who didn't stay on the field.
B+.
B+. Okay.
B+ because it's another great Carolina player wasted. Right? And the only reason they're in this situation is because of the draft capital they've recently given up for Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. And the fact that Carolina was even able to get this offer, if McCaffrey was not hurt, I don't think he gets a 1st-round pick, even if he was not an often injured player.
Running backs.
So I think they got the value they could, but they needed to do this because they missed on Sam Darnold, which they traded, I think, 4 to 5 picks for. They missed on Baker Mayfield, which they traded some more picks for. And I'm all for getting picks, but if these picks don't hit, there's no chance I can give this an A. The Carolina Panthers have proven they don't know what they're doing. So until they can draft properly, which they still have the old GM, I don't trust it. So I'd rather have CMC for the stretch run as the 49ers than have these picks for this stretch run as the Carolina Panthers. Personally.
Makes sense. All right, Brian Robinson to the Jets. Jags get 6th-round pick, which is conditional. Give me your real quick grades on that. Eric, we'll start with you.
I don't know, C+. It's yeah.
Doesn't
dude
really
coming
move
back
the
from
needle for you.
Doesn't move the needle for them, for me, for the team. And it's just losing Breece Hall is huge, and Robinson isn't going to replace that.
Okay, Jermaine.
It's a C. It's an average grade. They lost Vea Tucker the week that Breece Hall got hurt too. So, nobody's talking about that, but that's another offensive line injury. You traded for a running back whose, career expected yards added per carry is 63 yards. So, historically not good. You traded for a dude coming off an Achilles injury, and he's essentially running like Michael Carter. Yeah. So what was the point of giving away draft capital for this running back? I get that you're a 5-3 football team, but this was not the move to elevate you.
Right. All right. The Chicago Bears get a 4th-round pick, a 2023 4th-round pick for defensive end Robert Quinn, who moves to the Philadelphia Eagles. Thoughts? Jermaine.
Man is 32 years old, has 1 sack on the season. His pressure rates are down from a year before. His expected value added is down from the year before. On a team where he was getting a plethora of snaps but facing double teams, I think a 4th-round pick is personally too high. I think it should have been a conditional 4th. But adding Robert Quinn to that front for Philadelphia is good. I'd rather be on Chicago's side. So here's what it looks like. 4th-round pick was traded to Chicago for a player currently earning about $13 to $14 million. He's got 2 more years on his contract. I don't think the Eagles don't cut him. See, you traded a 4th-round pick for a midseason rental, and you were giving you. Why didn't you go after Bradley Chubb if you were willing to give away capital to make your team better? If you were going to spend that kind of money, you could have got Bradley Chubb on essentially the same deal. He's younger, he's healthier, and he's having the best season of his career. Bradley Chubb is now, and for what the Eagles needed, it was not front line help. That's not what the Eagles needed.
It was not.
So the Eagles still get a B from me. No, B-, sorry. It is Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn did ball out in the second half of last season. So if they're hoping to recreate that, more power to them.
He's certainly not going to be getting double teams anymore. Eric.
Eagles still have 6 picks in the draft. The Bears are paying the majority of his salary. We have depth. It's just to come in to keep fresh legs. We're expecting to be in the Super Bowl. We're expecting to play a Bills. We're expecting to play a Chiefs, somebody like that. You have to keep Lyman coming in. You got to get after the quarterback. B+ because he is having a down year, but I don't see.
Eric said a really great grade because he's having a bad year.
I'm saying it would have been an A for me if he had been producing. I also don't know if he gets moved if he would have been producing, but
he was getting moved by the Bears.
It's not okay. I'm gonna say something and it's not equal to it. It's similar to in theory.
No.
It's similar in theory to the Rams trading for Von Miller.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying they're the same caliber. I'm saying you bring in a piece that can be an X factor in a game to get to
Eric, I'm going to agree with Jermaine. It's a no.
I'm sorry, bro. I gave you a B-. I think it's a solid addition, especially because you have Hargraves, you have Fletcher Cox, you have God damn it, I just blanked on the linebacker. Brandon Graham is Brandon Graham still with you? Mm-hmm. You have great pass rush, so I'll agree with that. Do not be ESPN and try to mention this Robert Quinn trade in the Von Miller realm, dude.
I said it's similar in the sense.
It's not.
It is similar.
It's not.
It is similar.
It's not.
18.5 sacks last year.
There's a reason why Von Miller just signed a 5-year. What is it? 5-year, $160 million contract with the Buffalo Bills.
As an old man.
As an old man. I believe he's only like a year younger than Robert Quinn. It is not the same, my friend.
Yeah.
What I will say is the New York Jets got a 4th-round pick for Jacob Martin.
Von Miller's 33.
Oh, he's older than Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
It's the same.
All right, we'll move on. Giants get a 3rd-round pick and
Bears grade for that.
Yeah.
Also B minus.
Okay.
I think
Eric?
both teams won in the trade. I do think that.
Eric?
Whatever. They got a 4th-round pick. They're in rebuild. It does B.
Okay.
They got a
The Chiefs acquired
On the
wide
Bears.
receiver.
actually C because they're still paying his salary.
It doesn't matter. They now have not. All right. I'll let it go. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. The Kansas City Chiefs get wide receiver Kadarius Toney, the most injured New York Giant in human history.
No,
The New York
Sterling Shepard.
Oh, that's
Shepard
true.
Still
That's
exists,
true.
bro.
The New York Giants get a 3rd round and a 6th round pick in next year's draft. Rate this trade for me. We'll start with you, Eric.
Just because I don't know what the potential is for Kadarius Toney. Like, we haven't seen him mesh with Daniel Jones. We haven't seen him stay on the field. At Florida, dude was a savage. So I understand my partner over here is going to have a take, and he's going to give it. I'm going to give it a B+ on the upside factor. But that is a lot of capital.
Did you just agree that Jermaine gets to talk in this debate?
I'm just saying Jermaine has we talked about it this weekend. He's got a hot take on it, so I don't want to say too much.
Jermaine has an opinion, and that's valuable.
I'm gonna say C+ because a 3rd and a 6th. That's what they gave up, right? 3rd and a 6th.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot for a dude who hasn't really done much. So that's my take on it. But
For context, Kadarius Toney has only been in the NFL for 24 football games. Kadarius Toney is in year 2 of his rookie contract. Kadarius Toney has a higher open average score than what Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling are putting out this year. Kadarius Toney only played small sample sizes with New York Giants, but when he touched the football, he is electric. Electric. Now, the man has to be healthy, right? And maybe that's not this year. But let's not forget that Kadarius Toney was a 1st-round pick. Not this past draft, the year prior. And the other thing that nobody's talking about is that Juju Smith-Schuster's a free agent after this offseason, right? Mecole Hardman is in the final year of his rookie deal. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has non-guaranteed money the next 2 seasons, right? This is very much a move for the future and right now.
So let's grade it.
Let's grade it. I think to only give up a 3rd for a 1st-round talent is pretty good.
Okay.
Now, you still gave up a third round pick. And does he play this year?
3rd and a 6th.
And does he help this year?
he did say he's not injured.
Yes, but so did J.K. Dobbins. Like, you know how reliable these players are? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I want to be on your side on that one because I hope he gets on the field and balls and does good things. But I don't think this is going to be as impactful this season. And everyone's going to be like, oh, Kadarius Toney's a bust because of it. But going forward, Kadarius Toney for Kansas City will be a big deal. With that being said, I'm going B+. It's not good enough to get into an A.
Okay. Eric? Would you give it?
What? C+.
C+. Okay. Let's move on. So the Bears, in their absolute,
Are we only grading the side that gets?
Well, grade both sides. That's what I'm intending.
Okay. Because the Giants, if Eric gave the Chiefs a C+ for this trade, what the fuck did he give the Giants? The Giants, D+ easily. The Giants have no wide receivers right now. They just lost to the Seattle Seahawks because they have no playmakers.
And they have a winning record, too.
And the one dude with talent to be on the field and make plays, who's very good yards after the catch, they just traded. They drafted his replacement, Wan'Dale Robinson, who has done fuck all. With Darius Slayton still on the roster, tell me why they never traded him. Sterling Shepard has torn his 57th Achilles. Like, it's unreal what the Giants are doing. They don't want Daniel Jones to succeed. That's what it is. Kenny Galladay's still on this roster, and you traded Kadarius Toney. Eric's fucking laughing because he knows I hate fucking Kenny Galladay, bro. All right, next one.
All right, the Bears trade linebacker Roquan Smith to the Ravens. The Chicago Bears get in return linebacker AJ Klein, still playing amazingly.
Fantastic.
And a second and a fifth round pick. Grade it for the Ravens, Jermaine.
It's not a premium position. Roquan Smith doesn't play a premium position. And he's not as good at rushing the passer as you would like him to be. With that being said, the Ravens develop, and they develop well, and he's a 2-time All-Pro, right? Second-team All-Pro. So I'll defer to the man who has 606 tackles since entering the goddamn NFL. Right, second most since entering the NFL. So to trade a second in a fifth is steep. I do think it's very good value. If you got Roquan Smith in the second round, would you be excited?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm the Eric.
So I'm going A- for the Ravens.
Okay, grade for the Bears.
Love the trade. Not only did they get a linebacker back, they got another second-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. I think it's a great trade for the Bears for a player who openly requested a trade, who cried when Robert Quinn was there, who did not want to be a part of this franchise, was playing on a franchise tag. To get that kind of value on a player that's playing on a franchise tag is tremendous to me. You just traded your best player, though.
Eric, grade for the Ravens.
B+. They're pretty bad on defense. I think they're ranked like 21st on defense. They have the 6th ranked offense. So getting a guy who tackles a lot, getting a guy who, like Jermaine said, what was the stat you gave me? 15 sacks, 5 interceptions.
Yes. Roquan Smith is one of 2 players in the last 5 seasons to have 15-plus sacks and 5-plus interceptions.
So, yeah, I mean, they're getting a quality dude. They love their Bama linebackers. They draft them every year. So, yeah, I think it's a B+. And then for the Bears, the guy that wanted to walk, get some value for him. They're blowing it up anyway. A B for them. I guess, you're going to lose him anyway probably down the line, seeing as he was crying when you traded his friend. So, yeah, B for them.
Okay, grade for the Bears.
B+.
You just graded both of them?
Yeah, I just graded both of them for you.
All right, so next trade. Lions, interdivisional trade. They trade TJ Hawkinson, tight end, to the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, Detroit receives in return a second round pick this year and a third-round pick in 2024. Eric, your grade for the Vikings, getting TJ Hawkinson, a fourth-round pick, and a 2024 conditional fourth round.
Man, that's tough. Another weapon. I mean, they were lacking at the tight end position. The dude's good. The dude's got talent. And they got picks back. I'd probably say like a A-.
Okay. And a grade for the Lions.
I'm thinking. I think trading into the division. I wish I knew how much money Hawkinson was still owed. I'd probably go like a B.
Okay. Jermaine, over to you.
Talk about trading for a player who never did anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Who was he competing with targets for in Detroit?
Kenny Galladay.
Amon-Ra, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. the both of you. And now you just gave up a second-round pick for him. I get it. You're in win now mode. You're 6-1. You're bringing on a top-tier tight end talent, drafted incredibly high, never really paid off. I don't know how I feel about this trade, to be honest, man. I really don't. I think I like this trade more for the Lions than I do for the Vikings. I reserve the right to change my opinion once seeing TJ Hawkinson in this offense. But the tight end is responsible for an incredible amount. How long is it going to take him to develop to a new scheme, to a new system, to get chemistry with Kirk Cousins? Like, this is the reason why we always say rookie tight ends don't pay off. So you essentially are making TJ Hawkinson a rookie tight end again. I don't know. I feel like TJ Hawkinson has that name value, though. And that's kind of why people think it's a fantastic trade.
He's a top 5 tight end, right?
Can I interject with you? What does he do for the Vikings in the run blocking game?
Probably not a whole lot. Can someone look up statistics for him?
Because if he brings any value to the table with that, then maybe it's,
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was going to be great.
So I can't give you the stats, right? But I can say that TJ Hawkinson's has a 65 overall score in ESPN's receiver tracking metrics, but it's buoyed by a 73 catch score. So I would assume he doesn't have a very good release and he doesn't have very good route running.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Whether that translates to run blocking, I don't know.
A second round pick for TJ Hawkinson feels steep, but you're a 6-1? 6-1 football team? Can anyone confirm nor deny that? No.
For Minnesota?
For Minnesota.
it's fake news.
Eric, can you look that up?
They are 6-1, and it's fake news.
I do agree with that. I don't think Minnesota is as good as their record says, but they should make the playoffs. Look, we'll see. I'm going to give this grade incomplete. I'm not confident in the value. I reserve the right to lower this, but as of right now, I'm going B-. I'm going B- for Minnesota. For Detroit, you got a second-round pick for TJ Hawkinson. That experiment is over. You realize you're not going to be competing this year. And now you hope for Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown to get back healthy and make your receiving core something to bang with. Go ahead, Eric.
I may have to change my grade on this pick to like a F. The dude ranks 49th in yards after catch for tight end. I didn't even know there was 49 tight ends in the league. And then he's drastically terrible at run blocking. 29th ranked.
Yeah, this one screamed name value, and I love that Detroit pawned him off on Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually give it an A because it's gonna give all these Vikings fans hope that they're gonna keep this winning record and maybe go to the Super Bowl to get crushed. Get crushed again. 38-7.
That is petty. All right. Moving on. Steelers trade wide receiver Chase Claypool to the Bears. The Bears or the Steelers get in return the Bears 2023 second round pick. I believe we started with you, Jermaine, last time. Eric, give me your grade for both teams.
Just the fact that they moved Claypool out of that locker room. It was congested anyway. I'm gonna give it like a B+. For the Bears, you bring in a drama queen. I'm gonna say like a C for the Bears.
Okay. And for the Steelers?
For the Steelers, I'm gonna go like B+.
Okay. Jermaine?
A++ for the Steelers. The Steelers got the Bears' second round pick back for this one. Not the Ravens pick they just got. The Bears' second round pick. For Chase Claypool, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm out on this. This trade is all bad for the Bears. Look, it's good for the Bears because who the fuck did you have at wide receiver? I think I saw N'Keal Harry caught a touchdown the other day.
In a weak wide receiver market, too, yes.
And so I'm not going to knock the Bears too much, but the whole reason we were hyped for what you were doing is because you were stockpiling picks to have a young, fertile roster. Maybe they got Chase Claypool to see what Justin Fields has. And maybe that's the only extent. But if you just spent a second-round pick to get Chase Claypool and it ends up winning you football games, I know that's the end goal, but the Bears are not making the playoffs. I can't get higher than a D+ for the Bears on this one, and A++ for the Steelers. Look, the Steelers aren't doing so hot right now, but they got a second-round pick for a wide receiver they probably were never going to extend. They've already drafted his replacement. They signed Deontay Johnson, right? And that whole fucking conundrum is over because clearly Deontay Johnson's staying put in Pittsburgh. So the Steelers, another well-run franchise, much like the Ravens, cashed in, smart, got it done.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. The 49ers, since they acquired a running back, now traded their running back Jeff Wilson, to the Dolphins. And in return, they got a 2023 fifth-round pick. Just give me a couple of tidbits on this one, Jermaine.
Jeff Wilson rejoins his old offensive coordinator in a similar 49ers run scheme offense and is replacing Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, who are bottom in the league for yards expected to added. Not good. And Jeff Wilson has some gas still for this season. Also, they didn't give up a lot to get him, and they had just moved Chase Edmonds.
Going to Chase Edmonds to Jeff Wilson Jr. is a pretty good upgrade.
Oh my God! For what they paid on top of that, God bless the Dolphins. They finessed this one. I think it's great. It's awesome because Jeff Wilson's a free agent after this year, so you're not on the books for any type of money after this. I think it's a great trade. Jeff Wilson should immediately step in and be the starter. Immediately. So I'm giving the Dolphins an A- on this one, personally. And the 49ers, I think it's smart to get rid of Jeff Wilson with Elijah Mitchell coming back. You have Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey on that, and then Kyle Shanahan can pretty much turn any other running back into something if he needs to. See Matt Breida. So I think it's good to recoup those picks that you sent out in the Christian McCaffrey trade. Great trade all the way around. B- 49ers, A- Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Eric.
A+ for the Dolphins. They had the 26th ranked run game in the NFL. Obviously, he's an upgrade at a cheap price. Good grade for A- for the Niners. They were going to lose him. They have Christian McCaffrey. They don't need him. As long as Elijah Mitchell and McCaffrey can stay healthy, you got a fifth rounder out of a guy you're probably going to lose next year. So, good, good value on both sides there.
All right, getting near the end here. Falcons trade wide receiver Calvin Ridley to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Suspended wide receiver Calvin Ridley, I should mention. The Atlanta Falcons, in return, get a 2023 fifth-round pick and a 2024 conditional fourth-round pick. Eric, your thoughts?
Because there's no guarantee he gets reinstated, it's kind of sketch. I'm sure he will be reinstated. I'd probably give it like an A. The dude's a stud.
An A?
Yeah, I would. The dude's a stud. The dude's proven that he can do it at this level.
Mr. Clemente, please let Mr. Washington have his time.
Yeah.
Was that your time, Eric?
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying.
I stopped talking.
I'm just saying. He ranked 9th in the league. Last year for receiving, or the last year that he actually played.
2020.
2020. You have a young quarterback, talented receiver. You got Christian Kirk. I don't know, man. I like it. I think it's a fifth and a fourth. The dude was drafted in the first. I like it. I think they're getting a first-round talent, not giving up much. And then for the Falcons, I don't know, man. You got a guy who's not playing. You got picks for it. I don't know, man. That I would say B for them. Just they don't really. Who do they have besides Oladeus Sakamedius and Kyle Pitts? Might have been nice to keep him, maybe get more value for him. So I'll give it a B, but not a bad trade overall.
Yo, Drake London is good at football.
And that guy.
and that guy.
All right, that's weird.
Okay.
A+ to the Falcons. They got out from this awful Calvin Ridley situation that they were in. They no longer have that black mark from him betting on football, stepping away from mental health issues. To get picks back from him and to be done and with Calvin Ridley and have a fresh start is fantastic. Calvin Ridley was not going to help them this year, and Calvin Ridley was probably not going to help them next year. So, good riddance. Secondly, for the Jaguars, there's no chance I can give this grade an A. I see everyone gushing about it, and they love to throw all these statistics of Calvin Ridley at me. But Calvin Ridley dominated next to Julio Jones.
And a good Julio, too.
Let's not forget that Calvin Ridley dominated the league when Julio Jones was demanding triple coverage because Julio Jones averages 90-something yards per game because he's an absolute lights-out wide receiver that no one gives any respect to. I do not know how good Calvin Ridley is. I do not know how committed he is to football. I do not know if his mental health issues will strike again. I do not know what he's going to add to this team. Now, the only reason both these teams will be ranking high is because the Jaguars did not give up much to get him. Should Calvin Ridley miss, then it's a conditional 4th and 5th or whatever it was.
Conditional 4th in 2024.
If Calvin Ridley hits to the level that people think Calvin Ridley hits, then it becomes a 2nd. And at that point, I think it's a dead even trade. I don't think there's any winners on that side. Now, would I prefer to have Calvin Ridley and the potential that poses than the 5th and the 4th they've given away thus far? Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I just can't guarantee it. I feel like this is another incomplete. I want to be hyped for it, but is Calvin Ridley more Juju Smith-Schuster or is he more Antonio Brown? You know what I mean?
Great question.
So,
all right, we'll finish this up with the biggest trade of the trade deadline. With the Denver Broncos trading outside linebacker, edge rusher Bradley Chubb, go Pack, to the Miami Dolphins and getting in return the 49ers first-round pick, the Dolphins 2024 4th-round pick, and running back Chase Edmonds. Jermaine, we'll start with you. Grade this for me.
Denver realized something that most teams don't have the honesty to admit, and that is that they're not contenders. Am I wrong on this, Eric?
No, I mean I think they're realizing it.
They realize they're not contenders, and they realize that Bradley Chubb has been injured twice on a 5-year contract, that he has not lived up to the hype. I think the highest sack total he's had in a season thus far is 12.5. That was his rookie year, opposite Von Miller. But Bradley Chubb's playing lights out. So I think both sides win this trade. This first-round pick can be utilized to get a quarterback if that's the route they got to go in Denver, which is just absolutely mind-blowing to say out loud. And Miami Dolphins added Jeff Wilson. They added Bradley Chubb. They're already in the running for contending in the AFC. I think it's a great trade on both sides. I'll go with, for Miami, I will go solid B. First-round pick is still a lot to pay, and the man has torn his ACL. Maybe it was once, and then he just missed a lot of the season for another injury. And for the Broncos, man, it's tough, but you definitely get a B- on that one.
All right.
Chase Edmonds is not good.
No, he's not. I'll probably agree with you. Dolphins get a B. A position they need help at. Dude's having a good year. right now. Currently, he's got like 5.5 sacks. He's winning on 30% of his run stop. He's got a run stop win rate at 30%, which puts him at like 6 in that category. So he's playing good this year. I think preventing it from being an A is the price they gave, first round pick. And also, dude's only hit double-digit sacks once. And that was his rookie year when he had Vaughn. So hasn't lived up to the potential for the Broncos after what they gave up to get Russell Wilson and the terrible, time they've had since they brought him in. Just getting draft capital on a dude that historically hasn't lived up to the hype. Maybe he's having a good season. Yes. Maybe that's why you sell and get a first round pick for him when he's doing that. But I think getting some draft capital back on a dude who hadn't exactly lived up to the hype is a good move. So I'll give them an A- for that.
I do agree with that. I think it's smart. I think you're not winning this season and you can get a first and a fourth for him. Yeah, let it go. Keep it pushing. You trade that fourth for Robert Quinn. Last thing I just want to touch on, shout out Nyheim Hines, go Pack, for almost guaranteeing himself a Super Bowl, or at least the opportunity to make a run for it. So I'm sure he's pretty ecstatic to go from the Sam Ehlinger-led 3-4-1 Indianapolis Colts to the Josh Allen-led. What are the Bills right now? 6-2? They've lost 2 games, right?
Let's see here. Bills are, come on, internet. The Bills are now 6-1.
6-1. Oh yeah, they had the bye already.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun fact for Bradley Chubb: his pass rush win rate this season is only behind Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. So he's playing good this year, but like Eric said, he's only been over double digits, and that was his rookie year, 12.5. So, very interesting, a wild trade deadline. Loved it. A lot of other small trades. Shout out the Cowboys for picking up D-tackle help. Steelers for picking up cornerback help. Falcons traded for a cornerback from the Chiefs as well. So, man, what a deadline. What a week of trades. I'm glad the NFL has kind of relinquished that draft pick hoarding mentality. They've seen what the Rams have done going all in to win a Super Bowl. And I feel like in all sports, copycat leagues live and reign supreme. That's why everyone's trying to be Steph Curry in the NBA right now.
Just want to knock a couple teams. Houston, New York, and Cleveland. Shame on you for not trading Cooks, Moore, and Kareem Hunt. Those guys all should have been moved. Shame on them.
Not the Jets, bro.
Maybe not the Jets.
I'll give you the other two for sure. I agree with the other two for sure because we sat here and talked about the other two. The Jets can't give up on Elijah Moore on this halfway into his second season.
Yeah, can't do that.
Trade him.
Especially when Denzel Mims has requested a trade and they ain't traded him. I get what you're saying. You can't give up on Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is the best wide receiver on that roster. You can't give up on him because Zach Wilson is not that good. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Probably because you wanted Elijah Moore somewhere else where he'd be exciting to watch, and so I get that sentiment. But I'm not gonna bash the Jets for that. But the Texans, the fuck are you doing? Why are you keeping Brandon Cooks for the second straight season?
That dude's in football purgatory.
Oh, man. I feel so bad. The only saving grace is hey, Brandon Cooks, you caught passes from Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Matt Stafford. You ain't going to see any talent like that.
Never again.
Soon.
Nope.
All right, so it looks like we ran a little long. We're at about a minute 35. You guys got anything else for the fans?
Not for me.
Nothing for the roomies, huh? Okay. All right. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This has been my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we've got Full of Shit EPE. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.